Hi, I'm Timothy Unkert, and welcome to my channel. In this video, I'm going to be continuing to work on my portfolio site. I want to get the hero to look like this. Currently, we've done the markup, and it looks like this. I have to work on the picture of myself here, and then we have to do this. Okay, so first let's start with GIMP, and let's work on the picture of myself. So I'm going to create a actually, no, I'm not going to do that. I'm going to, yeah, actually, I'm going to create a new one. And in this one, let's zoom into 100% here. And let's actually get rid of that. What I'm going to do is open a picture as layers. So I'm going to go to my documents. I am going to go to my photos, pick this photo here. And we're going to rotate it. And I'm going to scale it. So I'm going to go to scale layer, and I want to scale it to actually 350 for my width because I want to make it a little bit smaller. So I'm going to scale that, and now I'm going to work on that with the paintbrush, but I have to get the color that I want to use, which is going to be this color. So I'm going to copy that. I'm using this color palette from colorhunt.co. So let's go back to that. We'll go back to here, get the paintbrush, and we'll put in that color, copy and paste the hex code into that, click OK, and let's start going. All right, so we're gonna start shading this all in here. I'm gonna get up close here and be a little bit careful and stop in case I need to redo a section. It's okay if I make it a little fuzzy. I'll stop again. Stop again. And outline, do a rough outline of my face there. Okay, and shade in some other stuff here. Get a little closer in spots here. Maybe I'll undo that last little part. I'm getting too close. Undo it. Let's actually change this. Bring down the size a little bit. Okay. I can get a little bit closer. Okay, and get some stuff back there. Maybe undo that one. So I'm getting this pretty close. Now let's go here and go do this. Part of me, like that, and then we'll change this to an airbrush, and then we'll kind of like airbrush in some stuff here on the side. Yeah, kind of airbrush it in there, and maybe airbrush a little bit closer to here as well. Maybe undo that last part. I keep getting a little too close. Okay, let's export this image. So we'll export this as I'm just going to call it Tim Unkert, and I'm going to export it to Unkert Development into my images and export it there. I'll stick with the default settings, and we're good to go with that. Okay, so now we want to make sure that appears, so we got to link that in. So let's go and open our index.html. I'm going to keep the default dark theme. I'm just going to make the font size quite a bit larger. Actually, to do that, I have to go to the style configurator. I'm going to go up to, okay. All right, so now we've got the default. This is kind of like a Zenburn type color. And I want to go down to my image. And I can put it in here. So I'm going to go dot images slash Tim unker.png. Okay, I'm going to hit save. I believe that's correct. Let's refresh. No, we did not get that. Let's check. Save that. timunker.png. Uh, oh, it's showing up way here. Ah, I know why. All right. So we have to go back to GIMP actually, and let's cut this. So let's crop this. All right, now let's save this as, no, we don't want to, we want to export it as timunker.png. Do I want to replace? Yes, I want to replace it. Okay, let's click export. All right, now that I replaced it, let's refresh. And now you see the image shows up, okay, cropped. All right, very good. Okay, so now what I want to do is start to straighten out the navigation up here. And I thought maybe I should add a little something here. I should add a div here with a class of site logo. And we'll open up that div. I have this set up so it does the closing tags, but so close it there. I also have it set up so you can do multi-line editing. Let me see if I can just, actually, no, I don't want the div to close there, actually. Sorry. I want it to close around here. So close the div, and then I'll tab this in there. And then we'll also have a div with a class equal to site navigation. And again, I want to get rid of that and just paste that down here. Let me see if I can highlight this and tab it over. Yes, that works. Okay. All right, so now we've got those two divs set up. What I do need to create is another folder. So let me go into Unker Development here. And I want to create a folder. So a new folder, let's call it style, or let's call it CSS rather. CSS, and then now let's create a new file. And I'm going to save this file as style.css, and I want to save it in the CSS folder. Okay, now let's just make the body, and let's just test it that it's linked in. We'll do the background of blue, okay, and we'll see if that links it in. And yeah, so now it's linked in. We don't really want the body to have a background of blue, so I'm going to get rid of that. But we do want the header to have a background color of, now let's take a look at the color palette here. I want to have it this color. So I'm going to take that color and you want to put a hashtag in front of it and then save it. And now if we refresh, you'll see that this photo kind of fades right in there. We do have a little border around the outside, so I'm going to fix that. I'm going to go up here and I'm going to say body, and I'm going to have the margin set to 0 and the padding set to 0. And actually what I could do is do just star, I believe. And let's now refresh. And now we refresh and everything goes away. All the inbuilt stuff goes away. So we've got a menu up here. Then we've got these icons. We want this to look like this. So we got to get working a little bit. The other thing on this markup here, I have Consolas, which is a Microsoft font right now, but I want to use a free font from Google Fonts, so I'm going to go to Google Fonts and use Inconsolata, which is close. See, I've searched for it. So we'll go and we'll do inconsolata. And I'm going to want the regular 400. And I'm also going to want the bold 700. And I'm going to want to import it into my style sheet. So I'm going to take this, copy that, and then go here, right at the top, and paste in that code. So I'm importing that. Then within the body, I want the font family to be, we'll go down here, I'm going to copy this part and paste that in. And now we'll save. Now if we go here and refresh, we'll notice the font changes a little bit. You may not be able to see that right now. The font color that I want, let's actually make it so it's a little bit visible. Let's go to the color palette. I want this for my font color. So we're going to put just color and then that color and save it, and now refresh it. And you'll see these colors change. The links aren't changing yet, but I want the link color to be that as well. So I'm also going to bring and make the link color that color. And we'll refresh. And now the links have changed their color. And I should be noting that I want this only for the link color to change within the nav. So let's actually go back to our CSS here. And we'll go and make the nav color change. And we'll have a text decoration of none to get rid of the underline just in the nav. Okay. So that goes away now. Okay, so what I want to do is I want to now have this nav menu have a display of flex. So go here, the nav menu is going to have a display of flex, and I want to justify the content to be space between. I'm going to hit now if I refresh it, you see the spaces in between. The other thing I think I want to add is because this stuff is jammed up against the corner, I do want to add a container that wraps everything. So I'm going to go right here and create a div with the class equal to container. And then we're going to take this closing part here and we're going to bring it way down to the bottom here and paste it, and then I'm going to highlight this stuff all the way up here, and I'm going to tab it over. Okay, now I'm going to go and I want my container stuff, so that's going to be right below the body. So the class of container, I'm going to have a margin left of 5% and a margin right of 5% for the desktop. Let's refresh. Okay, and now now you see that actually here, actually, I may have lied. I may want my container to be inside the header. Okay, I'm going to just fix that now, and then we'll fix the spacing later. My formatting is going to be a little bit off. I want that inside. Yeah. All right. So if I refresh now I have that space on the outside, which looks nice. I do have a little space on each side. Maybe it's not 5%, maybe it's a little bit less. We can play with that number. I'm going to click here and here. I have multi-line editing enabled. Let's do 3% for now. And let's take a look. Okay, so, it's all right. The other thing I want to get rid of is these little bullets here in the nav menu. So I'm going to go to nav list item, and I'm going to say list style type none. And now if I refresh, that goes away. What I want to have in the, let's see, the unordered list in the nav, let's have a display of flex. And now let's refresh. And now they go straight across like this. List item, though, I do want to have a little padding in between them. So padding, let's do padding left of 5 pixels and a padding right of also 5 pixels. Okay. And let's refresh. And now they're starting to space out. Let's take a look. Like we want maybe a bit more spacing. Actually, we might want a little bit more. I might want 4% there, but I want a bit more spacing in between them. So let's do 10 pixels and 10 pixels. And let's also go up here to our container and let's do 4% and 4%. So 4%. Okay. And to get this multi-line editing, what did I do for that? I went to settings, preferences. I went to, let's see, where did I go? Editing, right where I'm at. And I clicked enable multi-line editing. So you have to do that, and then you do the control and you mouse click. So that's pretty nice. Okay, so anyways, so that's a little trick there. All right, so let's take a look at how this looks. Okay, so now we've got, that lined out pretty good. The spacing above and below this is not so great. So let's have a padding bottom of 3% and a padding top of 3% for our nav. And I go here, let's go here. Okay, so now that brings them down and it kind of lines them up nicely, which is kind of cool. So then we might want to mess with the font size a little bit, but let's go to this next section here where we have uh, our below our site navigation where we have this flex 3 where we have the hero. The hero, I want to also have a display of flex. Okay, so the hero, let's have a display of flex, and let's justify the content to space evenly, I believe is what I want to do. Let's refresh. And no, that didn't do anything. So let's take a look at justify content CSS. Go here to W3 schools and make sure I'm using the right one. Space evenly. Items will have equal space around them. Okay, I think that's what I want to do. Oh, maybe I want to have space between. Space between. Let's try space between. I may have to do a few other things here. Because I have to put dot hero. So that would be an issue. All right, so now, yeah, it's looking about where I want to go with it. And now we want to have each of these have some display of flex. So let's take a look. So inside here we have this wrapped flex 2. Okay, and then we have this hero logo and hero text. Okay, so the flex 2 we want to have a display of flex. Okay, so we'll have flex 2 as a display of flex, and then we'll justify the content, I think, space evenly. But, well, let's take a look. Let's see what we get when we do that. Okay. Yeah, we're getting closer. Okay. And then within these, I want these centered, each of these. So, like, I don't want them at the top. So, those are the hero text. I want to have a display of flex. And then I want to align items in the center, I believe. Let's take a look. And yeah, okay, so that's going pretty good. I think these are a little close, except for the C++. So I may want to have, let me try space between here. That might be too much. We might do something else. Might do space. Actually, that looks pretty good, except for the node's a little bit off. Nah, I want to do space evenly. Okay, and then um, let's take a look at align item CSS. Oh no, or justify content. Again, let's take a look at justify content. So yeah, and I had that open already. Whatever. But anyways, initial this is the center flex end. Let's try that right here. And we'll see. No, it's not really lining them up that great. So that one looks okay. I want some space in between these, so I definitely want to space these out a little bit. So flex 2. Um, let's have padding bottom be 2% and padding top be also 2%. Let's just say this needs to space out a little bit. Okay, so it's spacing out a little bit, not enough, uh, in my opinion. So I'm going to make these 4%. Let's double it. Okay, so that's a little bit better. Um, and I sort of want to push this one down a little bit. Let me go here and take a look at that last one. Text, C++. Let's just make this a separate class of hero text end. And we'll say, oh no, let's make this hero text and then we'll give it a class of flex2 end also. And then we'll say with flex2 end, we'll give a margin top of 4%. And let's just take a look. That's not enough. So let's go to 10%. Still not enough in my mind. Let's go to 12%. Let's play with it. Maybe 14. And let's go for an even 15. Okay, that looks about right. I could play with this quite a bit more. These, are decent, but I do want to have a little margin between these two. Spacing evenly or spacing between? Space between. And then, except for this one, I'll space evenly. No, it's not going to work. Oh no, it might. It might. Okay. Uh, that looks good, but the Node.js is crowding a little bit, and I want to get the font size a little bit larger. Um, what else do we got here? Let's give it a margin right of 3%. I don't know, margin left. Rather. That's not really helping much. It kind of makes them up lined a little weird. Let's get rid of that. It still doesn't really do much. Nope. Let me take a look at align items here for a minute. Align items, CSS. So stretch, start, end, end be the one. Um, I think that's going to bring them down to the bottom. Yeah, that's going to bring them down to the bottom. So I want that to be center. Um, I want to justify content, I believe, to the end, but the end of the container. So I believe I want flex end, but that's looking okay. It's just this Node.js is kind of crammed up. I don't like that. Everything else I like. Um, what I could do is just take out the JS because I think that's just just put Node. So people know what Node is. And let's refresh. And now it looks a lot better. I might want to take this HTML5 out as well. Um, part of it's just playing with that just to get it uh, about the right spacing. Yeah, I'm liking that. I don't like the CSS3 either. I don't think I need it. So let's get rid of it. Okay, so that looks pretty good. The font I might want to change a little bit, and I might want to maybe make it all uppercase. So let's go here and we'll say something like text transform uppercase. You'll see that it's giving me some nice suggestions here. And now it's all uppercase. Um, yeah, I like that a little better. Maybe we do that with the uh, list items as well. Okay, and now they're all uppercase. Maybe not. Um, this hero text, I might want to make it bold and a little bit larger. Um, so let's do a font weight of bold. Just do it for all of this. And want a font size of maybe like 2 rem. Let's take a look at. That's too big. Let's make it 1.3 rem. That's looking better. I want to make this a little bit bigger. So let's make, what is that, my hero logo? No, hero text. No, it's the logo. Okay, so the logo class. So nav logo. let's make the font size 1.5 rem. Let's make it large. Let's do text transform. Let's make it uppercase. And let's see how that looks. And uh, let's make it bold. And now it kind of lines down a little bit. Let's make the margin top -1%. That lines it up a little bit better. Let's see if we do a little more. That's not really doing much. Maybe that's not doing anything. Let's do it pixels. It's not letting me do it. No. No. Let's make these slightly larger. Here we'll do, actually, right up here, font size 1.3 rem. Okay, that looks a little bit better. Let's bring these down. Let's do margin top of 1%, actually. Maybe that'll help line them. Yep, yeah, that does the trick. Okay, so now it's lined up a lot better. And we've got my skill set. So I think this is going to conclude it for this video. I could play around with this all day, but this is like a nice start for the desktop version. I'm going to move to a slider for the next part of this series, where we'll have a slider with testimonials below this. I've got to design that first in GIMP. That's what this section is going to be. And then I've got to work on the JavaScript to get that working. But stay tuned because that'll be next. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and hit the bell for notifications. It really does help the channel grow. I noticed looking at this, I've changed this around, so maybe I'll mess with this and switch the sides on these. I don't know. I kind of like now kind of like this. What do you think? What are your opinions? Leave comments in the comments below. Anyways, social links, 90 Style blog are in the description below. Let me know what you think. If you like this video, please, again, hit the like button. All right, see you later. See you in the next one. Have a great day. Bye.